What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Karina from Day by Day K, your fitness instructor and fitness competitor. In today's video, we are doing yet another how-to video, and I'm going to show you guys how to do a proper lunge. Now, I wanted to do this video for a while now because actually lunges are so good for you. There's so much benefit out of them. They're good for your spine, they're good for your glutes, they're good for your legs, for your core stability, and the list goes on. With that being said, it's a great move to learn, but it's sometimes difficult for people to get the proper positioning. And again, as I always say, if you wire your body to do it wrong when you start learning it, it's a lot harder to undo what you've learned versus learning it the proper way. So as an instructor, in classes, when I have more than one person, it's very difficult to, go to each and every single person separately and like correct them and adjust them. It's not like in personal training where you can really be focused on that one person. So I have some tips for you on what I do and how I teach and direct people in how to master the proper lunge. And it seems to really work well in my classes. So with that being said, we're gonna go onto my roof of my condo and I'm going to show you all these variations. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the roof. Ciao, ciao.
I'm going to start you guys off with just kind of demonstrating what a regular lunge looks like. And of course, you can lunge forward, you can lunge backward. I prefer to lunge backward because, again, life is so forward. We're always walking forward. So if I'm doing stationary lunges, I do them stepping back. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind is, one is my core is nice and tight here, so my upper body is kind of staying nice and tall, my chest out, shoulders back. My knees don't pass my toes as I lunge back, so the front leg, the knee shouldn't be passing your toe. And also, as I'm stepping back, my knee that's coming down to the ground is actually not hitting the ground, but I am creating almost like a 90-degree angle as I step back. The other thing too is that I'm stepping back onto my toe, not onto my whole foot. So here's just a couple of examples of what I see are common mistakes. People kind of stepping too wide, they're hunched forward, so they're not standing tall. Sometimes they don't step wide enough, and it's also due to a weaker core. Another thing too is when they're stepping back, they're trying to keep their back foot, they're trying to keep the heel on the floor. And what you actually want to do is try to keep your heel off the floor. So it just comes out looking kind of wonky and looks like you're just kind of off balance. So we're going to start off with kind of a stationary move. This is super simple. Is just basically taking a block or a pillow and you're putting your knee on that, just so you're not going to be smacking the ground every time you put your knee down, but basically you just kind of want to follow along in a straight line, like pretending a string is pulling you up and then bringing you back down. So you can hold on to something to stay in place, you can watch yourself in a mirror, and then you're also going to notice that staying on that block, my toe is I'm staying on my toe in the back there, and my heel is staying off the ground. So this is going to be kind of a first way of wiring your body and mind to kind of work together to create that lunging movement. And then we can take it from there. So if you feel like you're comfortable, then you can actually start alternating legs and stepping back without the block. Again, if you still need to use something to hold on to for support, by all means go for it, and then once you're comfortable, you can get rid of that. The other thing too is if you feel that you're still a little bit wobbly, sometimes stepping a little bit wider to the back will help. You don't want to be super wide, but just a little bit wider will sometimes help with the balance. And here's just a variation if you decide you want to step forward. Sometimes people are just more comfortable in the beginning to be stepping forward instead of backward. Of course, you can see where you're going and that sort of thing. So same concept though, my core is engaged, making sure that front leg, the knee doesn't pass the toes. Now from that, we're going to add on some weighted lunges, and again, it's just a stationary one-sided lunge. So I'm adding in some weights, and that's just going to, again, strengthen those muscles to kind of prep them for traveling moves, and also just kind of strengthening your core as you're doing these lunges. So this is the first variation of it. Again, you can add that block or a pillow, and then once you're comfortable with it, you can get rid of it. Now, if you feel like you're super wobbly, what you're going to do is you're going to use one weight. So notice how a weight will automatically try to kind of push you to come down to one side. So holding one weight and kind of forcing your core to stay tall. Really important if you feel like unbalanced to just watch yourself in the mirror as you do this, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this is actually going to strengthen your core. I know I mentioned that like 100 times already, but it'll kind of get your body used to this kind of movement. Now, if you don't have weights at home, if you maybe have a resistance band, I'm just showing you guys another option. The bands are really good because they have resistance on the way up and on the way down. So it's just another form of getting used to this movement. Of course, you can most definitely practice this without any equipment as well. I'm just demonstrating here, of course, what you're going to do on one side. You always want to remember you're going to do on the other side. Now, if you feel that one side is a lot weaker than the other, then I do suggest doing 2 to 5 extra reps on that side. Not like we're lifting crazy heavy weight here, so it will actually help to balance out the two sides rather than imbalance it more. And then once you're comfortable with all of that, you can get into walking lunges. So of course, same concept here. You want to make sure every step you take, your knee doesn't touch the ground, and you're also not having your knee pass your toes. Notice how I put my hands on my legs. You don't want to do that. So that's just basically an example of something that people tend to do, is when their legs get tired, they tend to basically want to put their hands on their legs to kind of support themselves on the way up. And then once you're comfortable with that, you can also add in that weight, kettlebell, or whatever else to hold, just to kind of help you with strengthening that core and your balance as you're doing these moves. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. I'm just going to show you one other one, just kind of as a, for fun. If you have a glider at home, this is a little bit more advanced now. But these are some other moves where you can also do lunges. So basically here you can see I'm just doing the glider. The leg that is basically in one spot is the one that's kind of working a little bit harder here. The other leg is just kind of sliding back, but in order to get this move, you need to get the basics, because you need to know how to position your body properly. You need to have your muscles kind of cooperate with what you want them to do. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you have questions, please let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao!